The 2K Sports pregame show.
With the Diesel and the Jet, this is Ernie Johnson. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Golden State Warriors going up against the Bucks in Milwaukee. Well, they have been a team on a mission this season. Best record in the NBA. We're getting deep into the schedule now, and they continue playing dominant basketball. And here in the early going, some teams already fulfilling their potential while others struggling out of the gate. Shaq, how big a deal are these initial outcomes?
Ernie, let me tell you something. I hated losing, period. Didn't matter if it was early, late, whatever. I expected to win every time out.
Well, the reality is of it, you have 82 games. So if you get too high or too low in your little valleys or your peaks, you're going to be in big trouble. But every loss and every win does affect home court advantage if you're a veteran team trying to make the playoffs and trying to win it all. So you're thinking about every loss. If you lose in April, it hurts just as much when you lose in January.
And time now for tip-off. Let's send it to Kevin Harlan. He's got the call.
At the center position, at 7 foot 0 inches, number 11, Brook Lopez. Starting at point, standing 6 foot 2, number 44, Jack T. At the other guard position, 6 feet 7 inches, number 22, Chris Middleton. The other guard, 6 feet 4 inches, number 21, Drew Holiday. Once again, your Milwaukee Bucks.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting broadcast of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony with Doris Burke on our sideline. The Milwaukee Bucks coming to this one after the win against the Raptors in Toronto. And they put it all together in that game. It added up to a phenomenal win.
And believe it or not, it wasn't the stars that led the charge for them in that win. It was about the role players. I mean, the guys who they don't usually count on for the lion's share of their points came through.
Guys, simply a complete team performance, and road wins where everybody contributes really can galvanize a team and bring it together.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. So for the Golden State Warriors right now, the defensive stalwarts, Green and Bogut, are down low. Barbosa is out there with Curry, and it's Iguodala in at the 3 spot. And that's out of bounds. Milwaukee will retain possession. Middleton against Bogut. Middleton outside. 6 to shoot over Bogut. Can't get it to go. So Golden State will take it the other way. Their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
And if you look at the numbers, guys, I mean, what jumps out at you is the balance they had offensively.
Very satisfying road win because you're right. There was tremendous balance displayed. I mean, the crowd was basically stunned at how they were able to dismantle that defense.
And when you look at Draymond Green, he's not a guy who will wow you with his numbers or his athleticism, Clark. He brings a lot of intangibles, though, and I remember remember talking early in his career with Tom Izzo up at Michigan State, saying those exact things, that he gives you so much more than just what you see.
And his current coach and our former partner, Steve Kerr, raves about it. He's the heart and soul of the Warriors, in Steve's words. Here's Green after the made shot from Jeff Teague. Curry kicks to Barbosa. Golden State moving it around. Count that one. Green's got his first 2 points of the night.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Jason Kidd. What'd you find out, Doris?
He told me he's a fan of Andre Iguodala, especially the way he's developed his outside shot. He said that was one weakness. He could do everything else, pass, handle, and finish. And boy, what a defender. But now that he's developed that jump shot, there are really no weaknesses in his game. Guys, that makes it awfully tough to deal with a guy who can impact the game in that many ways. Back to you.
Always great to hear from you, Doris.
He's just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Curry passes to Bogut. The feed to Barbosa. Back to Bogut. Passes it to Curry. Outside, Green. In the corner, Iguodala with it. Fires it up. They get it back. There's the dish to Barbosa. And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Great D that time from Teague. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Last year, a good one for Jeff Teague, Clark. He was a first-time All-Star in this league.
He's a pick-and-roll technician, so good in reading the defense as he operates from that spot on the floor. He was really the catalyst for what was a really efficient offense for the Hawks.
All right, now, take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
He misses the free throw.
And Jeff Teague, a real speed merchant. I mean, very tough to stay in front of. He can put you on skates, blow by, and get right to the rim.
Good on the second free throw.
And guys, Jeff Teague, an attack guard. He's just an average three-point shooter, but he gets to the free throw line in bunches, shoots at a high percentage, and has really revolved, I think, into one of the elite point guards in the league.
Now here's Iguodala. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. Back to Curry. And the Warriors miss again. The Bucks have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. Outside Teague. Middleton, a screen on Curry. And Middleton kicks to Teague. He feeds it to Lopez. Back to Teague. A second chance effort. He lays it in. Teague's got 5 now.
A strong move to the basket there. Nice power to get that up and in.
The Warriors trail. Curry with it. And Holiday picks him up defensively. Here's Bogut. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Holiday dishes to Antetokounmpo. Kicks it down to Middleton. Teague with a clean look. And it's another Milwaukee shot right there going in. Warriors trail by 4. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. And Green gets it to go.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Antetokounmpo setting the pick for Teague. Antetokounmpo can't get it to go.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle.
It's tipped. Stolen by Holiday. By himself. And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
Just a good, solid, aggressive finish there on the break.
Not going to get much easier than that, Greg. Simple.
Curry with it. And Holiday picks him up defensively. Curry passes to Barbosa. He dishes it to Green. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
Yeah, how about that one? Able to maintain control and finish the play.
Yeah, we call that playing through the whistle. You know, he didn't give up on it when he heard the whistle. He kept his focus, his concentration, and he found a way to get the shot up and down.
One shot. One shot.
Green, no good on that one.
And Draymond Green, guys, has won at every level. I mean, led Saginaw High School to 2 consecutive state championships, at Michigan State 2 trips to the Final Four, and now making noise with the Warriors. It's clear this guy's a winner.
So it's the Warriors now. They trail by 3. Not going to fall. Starting off slow, he misses his first 3 from the floor.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
No, it always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass.
Middleton against Curry. Teague kicks to Lopez. That's good, and so Teague with the assist.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here. They're getting their first look of the season at the Bucks in this one.
Yeah, and they took both games they played against this club last season.
Yeah, Greg, I like this matchup for them. Not a cakewalk. It's not going to be easy, but they clearly have the advantage.
And the Bucks making a change here. Portis is checked in. Then for the Warriors, Spates checked in for Bogut. Harrison Barnes comes in for Andre Iguodala. And Porter subbed in for Leandro Barbosa. Warriors trail by 5. Now here's Curry. In the game against Boston, very impressive. Pass to Spates. 3-pointer. And again, no good by Golden State.
I'm shocked that it didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Teague kicks to Middleton, launches it. Good. Middleton's got his 3rd basket of the night.
Shots are just flowing for him right now, having a really strong quarter.
Curry with it. Now guarded by Antetokounmpo to the left wing. Barnes dishes to Green. Porter outside. Rebound by Drew Holiday. Here we go with Holiday running it up the court. And the lead now is double digits on that bucket. And it's a 10-point Bucks lead.
So far, so good for them at the offensive end here in the early going.
Yeah, the great field goal percentage to start, exactly what they were hoping for.
Now, here's Green. He has 7. Nobody near Barnes. And he can't stop the run as he misses. Curry against Teague. To the inside. Here's Antetokounmpo. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Antetokounmpo's got his 2nd basket of the night. Curry passes to Porter. Over in the corner, Barnes buries it from 3-point range.
How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
Antetokounmpo, a screen on Curry. Pass to Middleton. This one for 3. And it's Spates with the rebound.
So far on the glass, it hasn't even been close.
Yeah, they're taking it to him. It feels like they've gotten every loose ball.
Barnes against Middleton. Curry kicks to Spates. 5 on the clock. Can't hit the turnaround jumper.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Bucks passing it around. And it's Antetokounmpo penetrating. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's going to be on Maurice Spates.
And still, I don't know that anyone can define what Giannis's position is. It's kind of still up in the air. I mean, he's played mostly on the wing a season ago, and thus far, maybe that could end up being the best fit.
All right now, gentlemen, roof shot. Roof shot.
First one falls for him. Prior to last season, Giannis was experimenting with the point guard position for stretches during the summer league.
Well, you know, Kevin, he's just the type of guy whose size and length really allow him to guard every position.
True. Parker's checked in for Milwaukee. Mayo comes in for Drew Holiday. That one falls, so he hits both of them. You can point to any number of things, Clark, the Warriors did well last year. Their play on the road being one of them.
Well, the Warriors were exactly road warriors all season long, partner. Hit the ground running and finished with the league best 28 road wins.
Milwaukee leading by 9. Outside Teague. He kicks it to Mayo. Outside, Antetokounmpo. Tries yet again, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's going to be on Maurice Spates.
And for the Warriors, they would go on several road trips undefeated last season. Still, the only time they looked vulnerable were games on the road.
Free throw, good. Portis.
And, you know, with the Warriors on the road, they would occasionally dig a hole they couldn't get out of. Still, hard to critique a team that was so dominant in every facet of the game last season, even on the road.
John Henson's checked in for the Bucks, and he makes both free throws.
And one thing we know is that across the board in the NBA, attendance is up all over. Franchise values are also at an all-time high. Overseas, the game continues to grow as well.
Warriors trail by 11. And the media deal in play says a lot about the popularity. It's not just broadcast. Fans are showing up as well.
Sellouts were at a record 700 last season, Kevin. The previous record was 676, almost 22 million regular season fans. That's a big number.
And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Bucks.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steal.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out on the fast break. A lot of points coming in transition.
Teague drives in, dishes it to Henson, feeds it to Mayo, lets it go from the wing, and another basket for Milwaukee.
And the defense looks soft early on. They've got to sum it up a little more sense of urgency.
Yeah, they've got to do a little more to disrupt their offensive rhythm, too.
And that one's good by Porter.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one. They couldn't have dreamed of a much better start here than they've had today.
I think the offensive game plan they came in with was right on point. It's worked perfectly, and the lead they already have is proof in the pudding.
And that's just showing off right there, guys. I mean, he is too good with that crossover.
Curry against Teague. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. They get Stephen Curry. You just watched Jeff Teague. He's a natural scorer. Clark, he's also made steady improvement as a playmaker.
Yeah, you look at his assist rate, Kevin, well in the top 10 in the league. He's cut down on his turnovers as well. You can tell he's starting to really figure it out, and the game is slowing down for him.
And he makes the first.
And Teague's also athletic. You know, sometimes you forget that I mean, this guy's got the tools also to be a terrific defender, and I still think he's developing consistency at that end of the floor.
And so Teague hits 2 free throws.
And speaking of Jeff Teague's defense, I mean, his rebounding, I think, could also be a little higher. I mean, with his bounce, he can get in there and grab a few more.
Back to Curry. And the pass to West. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
Here's Portis. 17 points for him last game against Toronto.
And how about the job he did rebounding as well, guys? I mean, just a dominant performance on the glass.
Now here's Henson, and he gets the bucket. And the Bucks lead by 14.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
Here is Porter. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Celtics in Boston.
Almost no chance of that shot going in.
Yeah, there were a lot of other places he could have gone with the basketball instead of forcing that shot up.
And Teague, here we go.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. The Warriors have gone 0 for 1 at the line. This is their second trip to the line tonight.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
And that's a little better than they did last year from the free throw line.
And he knocks down the first one. Barnes hits them both. So it's the Bucks now. A 12-point game. It's O.J. Mayo on the wing. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. And that's now 7 points for O.J. Mayo.
Nice pass that time. What excellent vision by Jeff Teague out there.
From deep, Curry gets the bucket. From deep three-point range, and the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And an overpowering first quarter effort. Already a double-digit advantage. Bucks ahead, up by 12. And we'll get going after this from the BMO Harris Bradley Center. And we heard from John Henson before the game, a player on the rise. He feels he still has a lot to prove. Well, it sounds like he still feels like he has something to prove, Greg, but seems to me he's already known for being that kind of guy.
Yeah, that's a great point. Anybody who plays against him knows he looks plenty strong when you're banging with him. But if he needs to push and motivate himself by playing with a chip on his shoulder, well, a lot of guys have gone a long, long way in this league using that method.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And quite a position here for the Bucks to be in. What do you think, guys?
You know, it's been about how solid they've been offensively here, really tuned in with one another.
Good ball movement, and it's paid off on the scoreboard.
So on the floor for Golden State to begin this second quarter. Green at the 4 with Bogut at the 5. Barbosa is out there with Porter. And it's Iguodala in at the small forward. Now here is Holiday. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Raptors in Toronto. No good off the front iron.
Well, the term dream season can be applied to Steve Kerr's first year. Comes in and sets a franchise record in wins and also wins a title for the Warriors in his first year. Still unreal.
Here's Holiday. Here's Antetokounmpo, and it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line. And guys, the Greek Freak really improved his numbers across the board last season. Giannis was up in every measurable category except three-point percentage.
He's really improved his shooting, though, overall. The three ball still eludes him a little bit here and there. But what I like, Kevin, is his aggressiveness. That's what's making the difference in his game right now.
You know, going back to Giannis, he has the physical makeup and skill set to be a triple-double guy. I mean, there's no reason that he shouldn't be able to fulfill his potential, except consistency. That's the area he's got to tighten up.
Now, here's Porter. And right now, he's averaging about 7 points a game. Kicks it to Bogut. A second chance effort. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And talking about Giannis, he was clearly one of the very best players in that 2013 draft. Selected number 15 overall by the Bucks. And if you looking back, to me, that's what we'd have to call a steal with the kind of player he's developed into.
That free throw missing.
And guys, nice to see Bogut out there given all the injuries that he's had to overcome in his career. Just glad to see him at full strength.
He's off on the second. You know, Bogut, as I recall, Clark was so distraught by those injuries that at one point he thought he might retire.
Yeah, he gave some serious thought to packing it in after the 2013 season, Kevin. Luckily for his team, though, he worked through it and is as strong as ever at the defensive end.
Here is Porter, following the basket by Chris Middleton. Golden State moving it around. The feed now to Porter. Shot clock at 5. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Chris Middleton. That's his first foul.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was one step late that time, Greg.
We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter. Barbosa kicks to Iguodala. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
And Andre Iguodala, guys, one of the most unselfish players in the league. I mean, that unselfishness for me, too, is what was put to a test last season as the former All-Star was asked by his coach, Steve Kerr, to come off the bench for the Warriors. And you know what? He did it without complaint, putting the team first.
That free throw, no good. And for Iguodala, some have said he's unselfish, Clark, to a fault.
Yeah, and you know, a great athlete and ball handler, I think he could be much more aggressive looking to attack off the dribble. He's really unique, though, a player who puts his emphasis on the defensive end and does a really good job at that end of the floor.
He hits the second from the line. Well, Milwaukee last year became just the 9th team in NBA history to go from Greg being the worst in the league to a playoff team.
Unbelievable what they accomplished. And they had a tough matchup in the first round with the playoff season Bulls, however. Things didn't go well, but they did get some valuable experience from that effort.
And up the court come the Bucks on the break. Holiday with the ball. And here's the fast break. Porter leading the way. Shoots from 14, and the rejection by Antetokounmpo. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Antetokounmpo. Timeout called the Warriors.
Well, as you said, guys, I mean, the Bucks struggled early in their series against the Bulls, but they got the momentum and forced a Game 6, but then were blown out at home to end the series. Ended up losing by 54. That's right, 54. Wow.
We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. pass to Iguodala. 6 on the shot clock. With 1 on the clock and finished off by Bogut.
And that's a huge play. I mean, they need more like it because second chance points are going to be key in this game.
Probably so. That's usually a crucial element to any comeback.
Yeah, and if you look at it, had they been converting those second chances all along instead of waiting until now, who knows?
And as you said, the Bucks lost on their home floor. One thing about that series is the Bucks introduced their new logo. They gave away free playoff tickets to anyone that turned in their old red gear. Not a bad deal in my book.
Now here's Bogut. Chris Middleton unable to get his last shot to go.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall.
Here's Barbosa, and that one's good.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Yeah, it's good to see him with his free throw percentage up over 80.
And, guys, that's an increase in his free throw percentage from last year. Maybe not a large one, but it is a little bit higher, so you've got to like that progress.
The free throw drops for Barbosa. Bucks leading by 11. Middleton dishes to Antetokounmpo from outside the arc. But they get it back. Parker kicks to Lopez. Takes a 3. Milwaukee, no good that time either. Golden State's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Porter against Antetokounmpo. Green passes to Iguodala. Out left to the wing. Clock at 6. And here's Porter. No good on the triple.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
And the shot is good. The Bucks lead has been cut down to 11 on the bucket from Porter.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
Holiday dishes to Middleton. And it's Lopez at the elbow. Lopez with another miss. Golden State's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight, 5 of 12. It's Porter outside, and that one's good. Porter's got it back down to within single digits for the Warriors.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off during the run.
The basket counts and 1. They'll go to the line with a chance to make it a 3-point play. Watching Brook Lopez, he all the time contributes in every category. It's amazing the number of Clark ways he affects the game.
Deadly with the shot. Tremendous touch back to the basket, moves, facing up, makes free throws. Good offensive rebounder, capable passer. So he just makes things happen.
The Warriors making a switch here. West is checked in.
And talking about Lopez, he does clean the glass on the offensive end. He was 12th in offensive rebounds last year. However, he was 44th in defensive rebounds. That's one important area he definitely has to work on.
Now here's Porter. 8 points for him. For 3, Barbosa. Rebound, Milwaukee. 17 points was their biggest margin. Well, they've got the Lakers ahead of them after this game, and the next game it'll be played in Los Angeles. And that'll be game 1 of a 4-game road trip. Lopez, a screen on Barbosa. Holiday with it. Barbosa picks him up. Holiday gets the bucket.
You know, getting back to Lopez, how good is it to have a guy with his offensive package also be a near top 10 shot blocker for you? That's what he was last season and several seasons before that. He's an all-star talent if he can just stay on the court and stay healthy.
Here is Porter. After Drew Holiday's score, Lopez with the steal. The shot by Middleton, wide open. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. That's 12 points for Chris Middleton.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
Barbosa kicks it to West. Porter in the corner. Got a piece of it. Here is Parker. He had 10 points in the win against Toronto.
Yeah, and talk about his scoring. I mean, Kevin, with the defense trying to pressure him, he did a good job of getting them to overcommit and getting himself to the line.
Warriors trail by 16. That is good.
Too much casual effort here. Lackadaisical getting back on defense here, fellas.
And it's costed them. Fast break baskets accounting for 7 of the last 10 points they've allowed.
And it's Antetokounmpo penetrating.
And check out the bounce.
Bounce to the ounce. Clark, how about that?
Yeah.
All right,
You
showing
said
him
it,
off
Kevin.
right there. Good move.
You said it, my man. He's a highlight reel waiting to happen.
Now here's Iguodala. 9 points last game out. Barbosa kicks to Iguodala. Golden State moving it around. It's thrown by Antetokounmpo. They get a hand on it, and Draymond Green picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. And the Bucks with some changes. Portis comes in for Brook Lopez. And it's Teague in for Jabari Parker. And the Warriors also making a change. Barnes is checked in. Here's Holiday. With an average of around 19.5 points a game, his scoring has been a constant for them. Antetokounmpo can't get it to go.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
Holiday against Barnes. Teague drives in. It's rebounded by Golden State. Barbosa's got 3 rebounds now in this one. There's the dish to West. He feeds it to Barnes. Takes the turnaround J. It's rebounded by Portis. Portis has got his 3rd rebound on the night. So many great statistics are available to demonstrate just how dominant the Warriors were last season. My favorite is, G8, their point differential.
You know, to be able to beat your opponent by double digits on average is something only 8 teams have been able to do in the history of the league.
It's amazing. Here's Iguodala after the made shot from Jeff Teague. Picked by West. Iguodala, the pass to Barbosa. No good with the triple. Here's Milwaukee now. They're on a 12-4 run right now. Teague drives in and stolen by Barnes. Iguodala dishes to Barnes. And it's good. Barnes has got 4 points now in the quarter.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
Middleton outside. Softly drops in the floater. Middleton's got 14 points for the game.
Oh, such a field shot there, the floater.
Now Barbosa. He had 16 points in the win against Boston. And here's Barnes for 3. That's good, and it's his 4th basket of the game. He's a strong 4 for 6.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they've needed it.
They set the screen. Teague drives in. That's good. 13 points in the game.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Now here is Barbosa. He has 6. He dishes it to West. Shot clock at 6. Green kicks it to West. It's rebounded by Portis. Portis has got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
You've got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboards.
They've done a lot of things well today, but really it's about what they've done on the backboard that's at the top of that list.
Middleton against Iguodala. Holiday left side. Lots of room. And good. Got the English that time as it falls. Holiday's got 6 points. 59 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Barbosa with it. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Pass to Green. On the wing, it's Iguodala. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Barnes. From downtown. Rebounded by the Bucks. Portis has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Antetokounmpo passes to Portis. That drops. And the Bucks lead by 19.
What a big-time mismatch it's been in the post. Where's the defensive adjustment? They're getting housed down there.
Yeah, something's got to change. A double team, maybe a substitution, but this is getting out of hand.
Now here is Barbosa. He has 6. Over in the corner, Barnes. Hits it from three-point range. Barnes has got 15. 8 seconds left in the first half. Down low with 4 seconds on the clock.
And that lead pass allowed him to get straight to the rim, unabated, in stride.
Got it off in time. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. Bucks lead by 18. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Guys, I'm here with Steph Curry. And Steph, what has the problem been defensively?
We're a step late, I think. And, they made tough shots. We can't take away from that. But for the most part, we have to find a way to guard that line if they're knocking down shots to keep them out the game.
Steph, thanks for the time. Guys, over to you.
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be right back after halftime for the start of quarter number 3.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny, the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be looking back at the game's first half. A nice show being put on tonight by Chris Middleton. He had 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal. After missing last game, it was clearly evident he wanted to make his mark tonight. Kenny, your thoughts on the Bucks' first half?
What a true demonstration of dominance. They made a commitment to owning the glass, and they made good on it. Blocking out, competing hard in traffic, that's the way you should play on both ends of the court.
Shaq, how'd you think the Warriors were playing?
Barbecue chicken. They were completely overmatched in the low post. I couldn't believe the amount of points they allowed in the paint. Wow, I thought I was out there scoring, playing basketball. They got to switch things up, get some different matchup because they are getting eaten alive. Barbecue chicken.
And now, folks, it's just about time for the third quarter to begin. We will see you after the final buzzer.